Okay. Fair enough.
They didn't know how to do that without changing
Get a brand new claim number.
Can we say something now? This is a real good answer, just something like severe problem. Without being specific about the problem. Like the study report insurmountable problem. A stadium takes a whole piece of work.
How many words are you over?
12. Yeah. Insufficiency. It's a long word, but it was just one word.
Right, yeah. You don't spend so much time discussing. That's not really For sure. Yeah. Yep. As long as the deliverable is done by the end, if there is going to be one. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Up to one. Exactly. Yeah, right, totally. Wait, can I help you with this? Because you're going to need it for there's a couple sheets here. Oh, these are done? No, these are new. I just got these. So let me do those. Let me do the one here real fast. And then, because we're going to need to print here really is.
Other ones,
You get signature?
yeah, we gave her one. So, yep. And one time more.
Ask about that. This is, yeah, I guess do the other one and come back to that one.
You know, I like it with. And potentially protect renters by reducing rent hikes. Or may protect renters.
You can't confirm what Alan said. We've done this. Well, in that case, you better pick up accordion or.
Okay, go find him and.
What you're doing is strong.
Yeah. Come on back to the large group, everybody.
You gave one up already. Oh, yeah? You got four, you know, so we should have three.
It is nice.
Yes, 17 too.
trains that go on the road. You guys.
What time is it? And he might still be coming.
Like that.
We're almost done here. Great.
Do you need to make a recommended edit?
I think so, yeah. Not quite. They can start discussing even though they don't have their ballots in front of them because they have, in general, what the claims are. I will not. I will put them up there during the vote for each vote, but not during the discussion. We probably need, I don't know, 5 more minutes or something, but they can start discussing which ones are most strong.
Off the whole break.
But you didn't need that recorded
Oh,
here.
you're all back. No, wait, who is missing? Pat. Oh,
Are we
Pat's right
missing
there.
any?
Great.
We need to have-
Okay, remember when I pretended like we were going to do this? Now we're really going to do this. And again, Lynn keeps saying this. Now that you have finished editing claims, you'll vote to make sure that end up in your statement are strong and reliable. We'll do that by voting on each claim. But first, let's review the criteria for strong and reliable information. So you have the strong and reliable information right there. And we want to take a minute to look at that. So can we just, popcorn, somebody read the first one and somebody read the second one? We'll hear all of them one more time. So, yeah, strong and reliable. Does somebody want to read the first one? Go ahead, Chuck. Oh, you want to find one? The strong and reliable criteria that you made the very first day, you came up with strong and reliable criteria. Let's give them a few seconds so everybody's got it in front of them. You got a lot of pieces of paper there. Can somebody hold it up so everybody knows what you're looking for? It should look like this.
The checklist.
Yes, it's a checklist format.
Do we have all the edited claims now? Any other claims?
Are there any other edited claims that need to be submitted?
Last call. Okay.
Does anybody know about 19? No, it's old? Okay. Okay, now we've got the strong and reliable. Yes. Great. Chuck, can you read the very first one?
First point in the strong reliable checklist is specific, not vague.
Okay. What's the next one? Go ahead, Shirley.
Current, not outdated. Can also consider relevant history if appropriate.
Okay. Next.
Relevant to the topic, for example, shows financial impact.
Thank you.
Able to be verified, not just an opinion, could be proven right or wrong, cited source.
Thank you. Somebody from this side.
Placed in context compared to what? Is this actually a big number?
Somebody from
from an established expert, cited source.
You, last one.
From a neutral source, without a personal or financial interest in the outcome, without bias and/or stake in the game.
So this is what you're going to use to be voting on this next round. Is it strong and reliable according to what you wrote and what you just heard just now? So again, the part I want to make sure I get it exactly right. You got them? That whole stack of copies? First, keep in mind that this vote is only one side or the other. We're going to get a chance to do that tomorrow to make arguments for both sides. Today, we're still working on simply identifying what is not readability goes. So don't let those things concern you now. Have higher priority than others. Not all claims approved here will end up on the statement. Only those that you rate highly enough will. So you can vote on these claims and know that we're going to prioritize them later. If you vote no, however, that claim is out of the process completely and cannot be brought back. So this is where you'll be discarding some of them. So consider carefully, you may be. So consider carefully whether the claim is truly so weak or unreliable that it should be tossed out. Given all the work you've done on these claims already, if you feel like any of these claims are strong and reliable, it's fine to keep them all. As I said, you'll get a chance to prioritize them all by how important they are later today. And many of them will drop off during that process and not be printed. Does anyone have any questions about this part of the process? Thank you, Mike. Any comments, any questions about this process? How close are we to being ready? Oh, there's a question. I feel it. Here it comes. Here you go, Chuck.
I just want to say I lost my checklist. Can I get another?
Do we have another strong and reliable checklist? Ah. Thank you. Yeah. We are ready? Okay. Here they come. I'm going to give you about a minute just to look over them and think a little bit ahead of what you're going to do, how you're going to vote.
We need just a little bit of discussion if anybody has one they want to advocate for or against.
Okay. So I'll give you a minute to read them, and then we'll open it up for discussion before we go to the vote.
This one out of the way. Oh, do you want me to?
That would be great. Yeah.
when you're ready. And before we go to a vote, are there any here that you see that you want to advocate for because they don't they're not strong and reliable enough? Are there any you want to advocate for keeping?
A strong, reliable voter guide. And we put in per a legislative analyst's office estimate, which our phone a friend gave us a hint on. So we put that in there.
Is it an opinion statement? Prop 10 is a flawed measure that will make the housing crisis worse? Or it's an opinion, and unless someone has a cited source about what happened when Prop 10 passed.
Hold on one second. Here you go.
An insignificant cost of affordable housing. That's why we added a second sentence.
Sure.
The second statement is actually pretty good. The first statement is a problem because the Stanford study doesn't refer to Prop.
I just feel it deals with rent control, and the population or the citizens need to know, like, hey, what does rent control happened in other municipalities?
I was going to say that it could be reworked, I guess, to the, according to a Stanford University study, showed San Francisco experienced higher rental costs and insufficient supply of affordable housing and would make the housing crisis worse. Try to get away from flawed measure.
Can we do that, Lynn? Okay.
Yes,
let us-
actually, I think-
before we keep, go ahead, Lynn, before we talk about changing it.
Yeah,
can
absolutely.
We do that?
I wanted to mention one thing, which is that there is a slight bit of possibility for you to make changes. I know that Francis said, because it's written that way, that this is kind of the end of the line, but there is one final chance where you'll be able to introduce a last edit or even something that's totally missing. So consider the claim as it is right now and whether that's strong and reliable. And if you vote it down, know that there is one last chance, but it's very limited, but there is a last chance.
Thank you.
I was also going to say that the pamphlet that we come up with tomorrow, it will have strong reasons to support the measure and then also reasons to oppose the measure. So we do still need to have some of these on here that are cons and some that are pros, because we'll have some things going into those sections.
I completely agree with you. My concern is the emotionally charged words, flawed and worse.
So we'll have a chance to work on that tomorrow. Or today. Isn't it already tomorrow? Hey, any other discussion, any other comments? Problem here then? Before we
At least
move on?
two that the last revision is not what's staged.
Okay. So we may have to hold off for a second.
Let's figure out what's going on here.
Michael, I think
Michael,
they
can
need
you-
you.
I think we probably need you.
that's why we took that out.
Another one?
It's just too many words.
You can continue discussing. We just need a minute to.
Okay.
So you can continue discussing strength and reliability of these. Just know that numbers 10 and 14 are actually not the correct version, so we'll get those to you in just a second.
So we're not going to discuss 10 and 14. Shirley, I think, just discovered something.
We were asked to limit the number of words to 30. And for instance, if you look at Prop 13.2, I lost my count, but it's closer to 40. Counting somewhere.
13.2 would automatically need an edit. And 14.1 is also over 30 words. Well, that's one of the ones we're not paying attention to.
Yeah, don't look at that one.
It'll be here in a second, Pat. Any other discussion? Shirley, go ahead.
10.1 will also need some additional edits because it's over the word limit.
Don't look at that
one. What are the two we're not looking at?
10 and 14. 10 and 14, ignore.
Yeah, I was actually asking them to see if they remembered, but that's okay, Lynn. So, so Laura, go ahead and say it since we've got the time.
12.2 is one word over.
So,
I don't know, I'm an English person, not a math person. Maybe I'm wrong.
so if it's one word over, they'll stop you in the middle of your sentence.
9.2 is 2 over.
9.2, she says.
Let me just a quick word about counts over. We can make it just okay. And also there may be little bits that will happen during typo time and that kind of thing. So focus on strength and reliability right now.
Except that we're waiting for yours. Anybody else comments about strength and reliability? Strength? Did we find any more good restaurants? Did you all go back to the same one?
Some of us went down to the farmer's market right there by the state capitol, and it was nice. They had a band, they had a lot of food trucks. And supposedly I heard that Sacramento is the biggest farmer's market city that has it in California.
Glad to hear that in California, because I heard ours was the biggest in the country, or when you started it in California. Okay. Any questions about strong and reliable? As opposed to from can to fork, yeah. Spam. Hawaii spam.
So what Michelle is passing out right now is replacement for those that are on there.
Okay.
they'll go in the same order. They'll just be whoosh, replaced in with those new edits for 10, claim 10 and claim 14.
You guys are fast. Thank you. Of course. Okay, so we should be getting close to having them all.
Just before this.
Oh, that one. Are we ready? Any questions about strong and reliable for the two we just sent out? And you know that they substitute for the others. And you have that ready up here too? Okay. Without further ado, we're going to vote. The first one up there, 8-2. I heard an up.
Go off the sheet. That's the order that you'll be going off. Just double check that I'm in the right place.
Okay, 22.2. Got it. Got your voting paddles ready. Okay. Yep, we're going to take each one by one and vote only on strong and reliable. Okay, I will read it now. We're going to start with 22.2. Prop 10 does not change the current rent control actions that cities currently have in place. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Yes.
2 no.
So it stands.
So it stays. 4.1, by limiting rent increases, tenants will have a greater share of disposable income to spend as consumers, which contributes to the growth of a more vibrant local economy. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Yes.
3 no, 2 abstentions.
So it stays. Claim 1.1, according to the principle of planning for sustainable communities, Proposition 10 protects rents by limiting rent hikes and ultimately keeping families in their homes and communities. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Yes.
7 no, 1 abstention.
It stays. Oops, sorry. Go ahead. You want to amend that? Do we need to do it again? No. Okay. 53. Prop 10 does not create rental control policies or
18 yes.
2 no.
States.
and it stays. 19.3. According to a housing research analyst at the HAAS Institute at the University of California, Berkeley, placing a limit on rent increases will promote neighborhood stabilization. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
18 yes.
2 no.
It stays. Going to ask that you keep those paddles down until I say put them up, please. I know we're getting a little excited here. 11, 10 landlords of single controlling is it charge for renting their home or a room in their home. Is this claim, is it charge? It is charge. Okay. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3. Put your paddles up.
Twelve yes.
5 no's,
Stays.
3 abstentions.
Oh. Claim 2.1, Proposition 10 does not take away rental property owners' guarantee of a fair rate of return. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Fifteen yes.
2 no's, 3 abstentions.
It passed. It stays. Claim 8.2, Prop 10 is a flawed measure that will make the housing crisis worse. A Stanford University study showed San Francisco experienced higher rental costs and insufficient supply of affordable housing. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3. Put your paddles up.
Eight yes.
12 no's.
It is removed. Claim 16.2, under rent control, renters would have a fair expectation to annual rent increases. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Fourteen yes.
5 no's, 1 abstention.
It stays. Claim 14.2, Prop 10 rent control policies may reduce the income of property owners. Safe, affordable living options may be reduced if property owners forego maintenance and repairs to cut operating costs. Is this claim strong and reliable? Oh, yeah, it's on the new page. 1, 2, 3. 12.2, per a legislative analyst office, estimate Prop 10 would significantly increase costs for state and local governments per year in lost revenue, which could divert funds from other vital state services. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Well, yes.
5 no's, 3 abstentions.
It stays. Claim 26.3, Prop 10 does not generate restrictions on the construction of new housing units. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
15 yes.
5 no's.
It stays. Claim 13.2. According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau from 2000 to 2016, the African American population in California remained about the same. Whoa. The report also showed that in rent-controlled cities, their population decreased by 19%. Prop 10 may increase the displacement of similarly vulnerable households. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Thirteen yes.
6 no's.
It stays.
One
Oh, sorry.
abstention. One abstention.
13. We'll wordsmith it. You will wordsmith it.
We'll deal with that. You'll deal with that later.
See if we, are we ready, Lynn? This is it? Okay, claim number 3.2. Proposition 10 has no direct impact on homeowners who are not landlords, but does provide the opportunity for safeguarding property values and neighborhoods through stronger local rent control policies. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3.
Just a second, hold on.
You want to fix that?
Is there a typo there?
Yes.
There is a typo there.
Yeah.
What is the typo? Can somebody identify that?
Rent local.
So just the first rent should be removed, is that correct? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
just first
well-
rent. Yeah, just the first rent.
Okay, thanks. We'll make that change and
Okay.
I'm going to read it again.
Read it again? Okay. 3.2. Proposition 10 has no direct impact on homeowners who are not landlords, but does provide the opportunity for safeguarding property values and neighborhoods through stronger local rent control policies. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Twelve yes.
8 no's.
It stays. .3. According to a professor of the Department of Public Policy and Administration at California State University, Sacramento, rent control policies may lead to litigation costs being passed on to taxpayers. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Twelve yes.
7 no's, 1 abstention.
It stays. .3. Prop 10 does not solve crisis in California, removing the restrictions of the Costa-Hawkins Act. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, paddles up.
Fifteen yes.
5 no's.
It stays. Victoria may increase by the repeal of the Costa-Hawkins Act, the existing state regulation, which now exempts single-family homes and housing built after 1995. Is this claim? Prop 10 may encourage the creation of rent control boards in 139 California cities and counties and give government agencies the power to add housing. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3. Put
Nine yes.
10 no's, 1 abstention.
It is removed. Prop 10 allows local addressable rent increases by allowing the creation of stronger local rent control policies. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Seventeen yes.
3 no's.
It stays. Upon the adoption of local rent control policy, new government fees and regulations may give homeowners a financial incentive to convert rental properties to more profitable uses like short-term vacation rentals. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Bless you. 14 yes.
2 abstentions.
It stays. 33.2, Prop 10 would create fewer rental properties, causing higher rental prices. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Four yes.
16 no.
It is removed. Claim 35. Prop 10 is not about what to decide, it is about who can decide. Prop 10 will allow regulation of rent control policies to be determined at local levels. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Sixteen yes.
3 no's, 1 abstention.
It stays. The last one, Lynn. 21.3, Prop 10 allows local communities to determine which type of housing is subject to rent control. Communities could potentially change the number of rent-controlled units available. Is this claim strong and reliable? 1, 2, 3, put your paddles up.
Fourteen yes.
4 no's, 2 abstentions.
It stays. So, list of claims. And we are not going to a break. You're going to keep going, right? Okay. Thank you.
Yep, correct.
Okay. How many are you feeling the pressure rise at this point in the process? Is the pressure starting to rise a little bit? No, nope, not at all. Nope. So I just want to, I know there were a couple things that came up there around, okay, some of these have maybe too many words, and we will play with that. We will work with that. Like Lynn said, part of that will happen through typo committee and some other ways. And it sounds like we're trying to maintain it around 30, but it's not a hard and fast number. So this is the opportunity now. If So what we want to do to kind of prep you and prepare you for tomorrow's sorting and prioritizing, that's really the bulk of the work tomorrow, is to get all of these now considered strong and reliable claims organized into the citizen statement. And so in order to kind of get you prepped for that, we want to just give you, do we have a pro con key finding sheet? Oh, it's happening. Oh, excellent. So we're about to hand out a worksheet that you will work off of first just individually, and then we'll send you into small groups to talk with each other in small groups. But basically what we want you to do is sift through the list of all of the strong and reliable claims that just got voted in and start to kind of put the puzzle pieces around. So you're going to just kind of start to see where in your mind might they fall in those three sections of the citizen statement. Remember, there's the key findings. And so these were most important for voters to know, kind of the key pieces of information that were most important for voters to know. And then there will be 8 of those, and then there will be 3 best reasons to support and 3 best reasons to oppose. So you'll kind of just start to look at that and see where some of these claims might be falling. You'll also do a scan to sort of think back in your mind and just kind of all of the information that you've gathered. Is there any critical piece of information or a gap that really hasn't been filled yet with this body of information now that's gone forward? So if you find something that is just glaringly missing, this is sort of the last chance for you to speak up, talk to the other panelists about that, and see if you potentially are going to create any new considered as strong, and then we would do the same kind of strong and reliable vote. So it would require a little bit of work for you to craft that, get some feedback, and then we would vote on whether or not it's strong and reliable. If you think you've got what you need for now, there's no need to create new claims. But if you think there's some glaring omissions, this is the time to get them in. And then the other thing is you'll be looking to see, as you're sort of starting to populate the different sections, are there gaps in any of the sections that we just aren't filling? And if that's the case, that might also trigger you to consider, okay, is there more information here that we've got that we need to consider developing into a claim? So it's not asking you to go back and do what you just did for the most of the day, which is, really pour through the information and create new claims, but you're really kind of looking now at your body of evidence and saying, is there more in there that we just have not surfaced, we somehow missed? And if so, this is the time to get it in. Pat.
Okay, I had a question that I haven't seen brought up or discussed, and that has to do with litigation between the landlord and tenant. Now, under current situations, if you're a landlord and have a tenant and you have a conflict, you go to small claims court. And I have heard people mention about having to hire attorneys to go to rent control boards or policies. Are we looking at additional costs and so forth to landlords and tenants getting involved with rent control boards versus small claims, or does anyone know how it's handled? I don't.
Rose?
I was going to say the only thing I recall is yesterday of the 15 that are in place now, that has not been an issue of any types of claims or any types of litigation between the tenants or landlords and the rent control boards or the city council.
I did hear one talk about having to hire attorneys to go get involved and represent you before these involved. And I'm looking at it as a financial issue. I'm a financial conservative. I'd like to know what's going on now. Are we opening the gates for a lot more litigation versus having things solved locally through small claims courts?
Yeah, they said there could be that issue, but the person yesterday that talked about it said There has not been any in the 15 that they have right now.
Yeah, I was just going to refer back to 31.3 where we're saying it may lead to litigation costs being passed on to the taxpayers.
Okay, so there's a claim in there that maybe speaks to that a little bit. Is that what you're saying?
31.3.
All right, so we've got a little energy over here. What's going on over here with Laura and Michael and Chuck?
I've got a quick question for you. Can you clarify when it is that we would make the vote on the new information that might get
Added in.
added? Yeah.
Yes, so Chuck has a question about the steps that we're going to take. So right now it's just some general conversation while we're getting this list passed out. You'll look through the list, do your own scan. I'm actually going to have you do your own sort of scan of which of these we're going to fall into key findings, which would lean into the pro side, which would lean into the con side. And then you go back to small groups. And in the small groups, if you as a small group determine that there is some gap of crucial information that needs to be surfaced in the form of a potential claim, then that's when you would craft that. And then you would bring it back to the large group, have a little back and forth, and then we would vote on, you all would vote on, okay, is this strong and reliable piece of information? So that's all happening today, believe it or not. Yeah, today. So this is kind of it, this information in for sorting. Michael.
I know supply and demand is like a big thing, and we've just never addressed it. It's always been like voted not to, and I don't know if that's wants to believe, but.
So you're suggesting that supply and demand piece might be critical. It's not currently necessarily in there, so it may get developed into a clue. Stanley?
In reference to the cost maybe for small claims and other litigation, and somebody suggested that this is that, but where it says rent control policies may lead to litigation costs being passed on to taxpayers. I think in one of the times we were trying to craft this, we had said passed on to other or all taxpayers, as if the control board may experience some cost that then is spread around to the taxpayers. I think you're trying to address the landlord or the tenant that may have the cost associated. So that I don't think that directly addresses this in 31.2.
Okay. All right. So that may be something that you end up crafting as a new concept for a potential claim. Steve.
On the original claim sheets that sourced the tinyurl.coms, and Proposition 10 helps rental property owners by guaranteeing a fair rate of return for landlords. And then if you go to the website, it says that the landlords are allowed to put professional expenses as legit business expenses, so lawyers, CPAs, and so forth, and the court fee would reimburse the losing agency. So if the landlord lost, he would be reimbursed by the extra costs of the attorneys and so forth, according to this website. So, maybe we need to do more digging into the website to see for sure, because that's just my preliminary take on this thing.
Okay. All right. So you've got now your worksheet in front of you. It looks very similar to the last one, but now it has in it, there are 3 new columns. One says key finding, one says pro, and one says con. And so this is an individual exercise to start. I just want you to take some time and go through these claims and where might you place them. Each of the claims blush. This isn't something that we're even going to take with us forward. It's just a chance for you to set yourselves up for the next conversation. Laura. No, and in fact, how much time should we give them? Just 5 minutes to do this quickly?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
just a
really quick scan. But you're welcome to go somewhere else. No, I mean, I don't know, ask your panelists, but won't bother us. So take 5 minutes, just quickly mark in. Okay, that's a quick 5 minutes, but I'm going to ask you now to go into your small groups. It's okay. You can take your sheets with you and you can talk through this a little bit more. So I'm just going to make it real simple. Tim, Michelle, Rose S, and Michael. Yeah, you'll be a group and you're going to be at this table. It's 4 groups, right? Yeah, this table here. Marlies, Pat, Mike, Rose F, And Stanley, you'll be at this table right here. Myra, Shirley, is it Myra? Shirley, Steve, and Jenny, you'll be at the back corner that is group 3. You'll be in that table. And then this group of 5, you'll be at the final table back there. And what you're doing is having a conversation with each other about glaring omissions. What have you found in your study of this so far? Is there anything that absolutely is critical that needs to be developed into a claim? And then you craft a concept together. If you think that if you find that there needs to be a new piece of information coming into maybe being a claim, you will craft it as a group, as a small group, and you'll bring it back. And you have 30 minutes to do this, and you get up to 1 new claim. You're not creating 5 new claims. You're creating up to 1 new claim. Because at some point we have to, you just can't do anymore. Yeah, and I won't ask you to turn those in. Just for your. So 30 minutes to create potentially up to 1 claim per group.
Up to 1. That's 0 to 1. They will be writing them. It'll go through another iteration. Yeah, no.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go back there. Yeah. Where'd all our mics go? Okay, everybody. You're gonna have everybody turn your attention up here. And it looks like we have 3 Potentially new claims. I'm assuming that there's nothing written up here, so there's no new claim from this group. So I'm just you're going to have a chance to hear from each group who had developed a claim. They'll read it to you. You can offer a quick, friendly amendment if you want, or no. Nope. Oh, we're going to shuffle. That's right. So who would like to read? Yes, why don't you? Yeah. Yep. Hold on.
Yeah. Who wanted that? We got to the conclusion of none.
We just decided all the ones were here were valid ones, and we had nothing new to add.
Okay.
Not that we didn't do our job.
All right. So we'll have this group read, and let me just signal for you what will happen next. They will read it, then this group will read theirs, and this group will read theirs, and then you can self-select into one of the groups to do a quick, any sort of refinement to that before we then take it up to vote. So if there's one that speaks to you and you want to work on it, go to that table. If you want to stay with the table that you've been with, great. Any of that can happen, but that's really, we're not looking for kind of open sesame feedback right now. We're looking for just read it out loud and then choose if you want to go work on it. Okay?
Prop 10 would repeal the Costa-Hawkins Act, which currently provides exemptions for rent and control on single-family dwellings, housing built after 1995, and allows rent increases upon vacancy on a unit already rent controlled.
And then any quick explanation of why you brought this claim forward?
I thought that we really needed something for our key information on our statement that outlines the essence of the initiative that we're working with.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, how about this group? Who would like to read it?
The edit is as follows. By limiting rent increases, tenants will have a greater share of disposable income, which could contribute to the growth of a more vibrant local economy. And we made the edit because, first of all, we didn't want to say that you would spend it locally because that's not necessarily happening. Some people save their money, but they do have more disposable income, whether they're going to spend it or save it. They have more. And the fact that they have more, it could, not necessarily would have to, but it could contribute to the growth of a more vibrant economy.
All right. It is a new claim. It's just in response to trying to approve a former claim. So both claims are potentially still up there. This is just a concept for consideration. Does that make sense? So you're not actually editing to replace. They chose to say we want to improve that one, so we're going to create a new claim around it.
All right, so this is kind of what I've been trying to get the supply and demand out there. So I'm gonna try it one more time. It's based off the 8.1. I'm gonna leave out the first thing. I didn't write the flawed thing. Oh, we found out that's under the cons. If you look back at the claim 8, and then I introduced this research this morning. And I'm going to try to link that to this. A Stanford University study showed San Francisco has experienced higher rental costs and an insufficient supply of affordable housing under existing rental control policies. So I just took out the first sentence on 8.2. And we kind of just did the second.
You retooled it. Okay. All right. So you'll have another 30 minutes to refine these concepts into new claim out of this concept. And you have 30 minutes to do that. Anybody that wants to work on any of these is welcome to go to that table and keep working. And at 30 minutes, we'll call you up. we'll have the claim read, and then you will do the vote of strong and reliable, just like you did with all of the others. And that will determine whether any of these claims get pulled into now your pool of strong and reliable claims. Make sense? So 30 minutes, so at 4:40.
Hi. Okay, my group thought it was fine the way it was. Like, I don't understand it. And my note was.
Yeah, when she said it, I was just like, why didn't we have this before?
Yeah.
I'm sorry? We're definitely done at 5. There's really only one group that's not done. So if they're done, I know that Robin's looking, checking to make sure that we can come back early. And then we vote on it, and then that's it. And we're done. Hope so, but I don't think so.